Ray, financial report.
Yeah, I've got a replacement page for the consolidated printed income statement. We found it's actually an error back in the October piece of that, so that we've got a replacement page. When I get to that, I'll show it to you. This is a consolidated balance sheet for the period ending December 31. Point out several of the things that we like to look at on a regular basis. You can see our total cash available. This is for November we had total cash available $466,000. In December we had an increase in cash of $552,000. Total cash available, that's from all accounts, is $552,000. A couple things about that: we had a really good collection month in December. We had $1.6 million cash collections in December, which is a very good month for us. Our goal is 1.5, and that's from all entities. That's from the hospital, the nursing home, and the 501A. And what is significant about the 1.6 in December is that with the change of ownership in the nursing home, Medicaid is not paying us for our patients there until the application is complete, and hopefully that's this week, as we submitted all the information to them. In December, they were holding about $80,000, and that number is at least double now into January. So we had 1.6 collections with about 80,000 short in the nursing home. So that was good work on our business office. I think if you remember in last month's narrative, I made a comment about that you ought to start seeing an improvement in our collections, and that did come to pass in December. So when you look at the other one we like to look at is our total accounts receivable, and you can see we had just a slight increase in our consolidated accounts receivable from $2,648,000 to $2,694,000. That's really made up of two parts. One, the hospital, when you look at the narrative, and also the consolidated balance sheet for the hospital. We had a significant reduction in our accounts receivable in the hospital. The nursing home, for the reason I just described, increased slightly, because there was on the hospital side there was a reduction of about $100,000 in our accounts receivable. Those are the things that we really look at, because an increase in accounts receivable is not all bad, because that means we're putting some more money on the books. But if you put it on the books, then our business always has a responsibility to get it off the books. We did a good job in December. The collection percentage for both the hospital and the nursing home was 102%. For the hospital alone is 109% of net revenue. So business office did a good job then, but we expect them to keep doing that, because that's frankly their job. Inventory, we look at that. Inventory stayed about the same, $751,752. If you look at it, it's increased a little bit from last year at the same time. That's a function of both the expansion and stocking in another area, but really the main area there is there's an increased orthopedic surgery and the inventory of those items to do those procedures. The other item we look at is our accounts payable. Our accounts payable, we had a pretty significant drop in that this month, and that really is primarily the result of one item, and that was the HRSA grant. We had the HRSA grant of about $400,000, which we look at in the income statement in a minute. But that was paid for out of a HRSA grant, so you didn't see, say, the corresponding change in cash from that. But that reduced that. That's about $370,000 invoice that we paid out of that reduced our accounts payable. Kind of what I planned on doing this time is just really focusing on the consolidated information. We had our finance committee met this last week, and we reviewed all of the individual entities. So unless you have questions, I'm just really going to cover the consolidated information. And there's the narrative. The narrative that's in your handout covers both the consolidated and the individual information. But if that's okay, since since the finance committee is reviewing all the separate individual entities, but if you have questions on those, I'd be happy to try to answer this for you. Yeah, Rick?
I sat through the finance committee meeting, and I guess I wasn't paying too
Yeah.
good attention, probably should have asked it there, but what's in other receivables? Under other current assets, other receivables, what all?
Oh, that's due to and due from our two entities. That's between the nursing home and the hospital and the 501A. You know, that's when we loan money to the other entities. That's a due to, what we call a due to and a due from for our other entities.
Okay, and then intercompany receivables, some down, you all, right there.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's your due to and due from. Honestly, I don't know what that is. I'm gonna have to get that information.
Okay.
Let me look at it's in the, it's all in the hospital side. Yeah, this number right here is our due to and due from. I'll get that and I'll give you a report on it next time. Without looking at the detail, honestly, I don't know what that is. Yeah, good point. Thanks.
And what's in long-term debt?
Long-term debt is gonna be our notes payable. Our notes payable like the bank, we recognize the current portion, but that's gonna be our notes that we have at the banks or with, or any capital leases.
That's primarily what it is not
Yes.
just equipment that we,
We finance.
More or less finance.
Either a capital lease or or money that we borrow at the bank. Okay? Let's look at the income statement. That's always what we like to look at. Here for consolidated, we had a profit of $22,000, operating profit of $22,000, and that's we always like to see numbers that don't have brackets around them. It was a pretty good month for us. I like to kind of point out the highlights of that just a little bit. It's kind of hard to see it there. The number we like to look at is we like to look at the monthly basis, but then also like to look at the comparison for prior year. For this year, we have for the first 3 months, we have gross charges of $12,280,000 compared to last year of $12,440,000, so about $200,000 below last year. This is the line right here that really makes a difference. It's our net revenue. In this number right here, and Mel pointed this out in the narrative, on the nursing home side now, we're only recording net revenue rather than gross with our new billing system. We can identify what our contractuals are going to be at the time of billing. So even though there's a little bit of an unfavorable variance here, that our revenue is about equal to last year because of our contractuals are being recognized in our nursing home revenue right here is being presented as net revenue gross. Our net revenue, which is our revenue after our discounts and allowances and bad debts, for this month, $4,800,000 compared to last year at this time of $4,452,000. So a favorable variance there of 8%, which is a good number for us. Look at total expenses. Our total expenses for this year, $4,787,000 compared to last year of $4,696,000. Our expenses are up 1.9% over prior year, but when you compare that to our net revenue is up 7.9%, and that's why when you look at this number right here, year to date, consolidated for this year for the first 3 months of first quarter, we had a profit of $46,000 compared to last year, a loss of $243,000. So you can see that's where the significant improvement is. We're managing our expenses well, and our net revenue is increased quite a bit.